Guys, it's Jeremy from HowToHockey.com.
And I'm Scott from The Science of Skating.
In this video, we're talking about the proper hockey stance. This is actually one of the most important tips to give to a hockey player. That's why we're doing it for our very first video. This is where you're going to get a lot of your power from, and it's going to help you just become a better overall skater. Let's get right to it. We're here with Scott Grover. He's been teaching power skating for over 30 years, and he's going to give you the basics on the proper hockey stance.
To begin with, there's a lot of things that I've changed over the years, a lot of things that I've adapted over the years, but the biggest thing that's remained the same all the way through is the knee bend. All right, so basically I'm going to go sideways so you can see it, and your legs should be almost parallel to the ice. Not quite parallel, just a little bit above. Or if you want to think of it this way, I'm just about to sit on the bench. I'm not actually sitting on the bench, I'm just about to. The arms should be up. They should not be leaning on the thighs. And here is the biggest problem that I have with younger kids is when I say to go lower, they take it as lean forwards more, which actually, as you can see, straightened out my legs. It actually took my knee bend away. Plus, it hangs the heaviest part of your body out front, which is going to put you on your nose. So the big thing is arms up, feet shoulder distance apart, chest up and over top the skates. Again, it's acceptable to go a little bit forward as you go faster, but I'm not even going to worry about that yet. Right now, it's more stay over top the feet, stay up and over, and don't lean on those sides.
So Scott had some great points there, so I just want to ask him a few questions about the hockey stance. So Scott, the one thing that you said really important is get nice and low. So just for the newer hockey players, why is that so important to have that really good knee bend there?
Well, number one, your knees are like your shock absorbers. They sustain any kind of bumping side to side movement and also balance. Yep. Balance is the key. So the lower your center of gravity, the more balanced you are. That entails with a wide base as well, which is about shoulder distance apart with the feet.
All right. Yep. And also like something that I like to teach the kids is, that's your power. That's where it all comes from, right? So I sometimes refer to it as the power stance. Yep. Also the hockey stance, right?
Correct.
Because when you're up here, right, you're pushing just from your hips.
Correct.
And you're not going to go very fast. But when you get down here, you get a lot more power from that push, a nice good knee bend, and you can actually get a nice long stride.
Correct, and that's big. That's big. If I can show you here, if I'm standing here and I push, I can push out to here, and then my foot physically has to come off the ice. There's no choice. So I actually push from here to here, which is about one blade length or one stick length if you want to do that way, right? So now I take the same stance and I drop it down here. I can actually push my foot out to there before it physically has to come off the ice. That's twice the distance, which means twice the speed and power. Jeremy, if I can get you in the sit position or the power stride, there's a million different names for it too. Basically, I call it the sit position because I want him even lower than he is right now. There's where I want him. And if you look at it, there's actually a line from his shoulder, and if his head stays up and over top looking straight ahead, there's a line right down to the middle of his foot. You can see by the stick. Shoulder, just inside the knee, and right to the base of the foot. That should always be there. That lineup doesn't matter whether you're turning, whether you're skating straight ahead, backwards. It always should stay the same.
And that just helps with power from the legs, proper body positioning for balance.
Correct,
right?
correct.
And
it keeps everything over top your feet, which is huge.
Exactly, and that's really important for balance.
Yeah.
So just to sum up those points of having a good hockey stance, you want to get nice and low. You want to basically have your legs parallel with the ice, like you're just about to sit down on a bench. You want to have your feet about shoulder width apart. That just keeps you nice and balanced. You want to have your head up and your chest up. So don't bend too much at the hip when you say to get low. Don't bend over too much like this because then you're off balance. All your weight is on your toes. If you get knocked, you're going to fall over. So you want to get nice and low, have a good knee bend, a little bit of an ankle bend, a little bit of a hip bend, but not too much. Head up, chest up, so you can always read the play. And like Scott said, you're going to have your weight pretty much over. We tell the players to get nice and low, and they get nice and low. But the only problem is then a few steps in, they stand up again. So that's why we want to do this second video on the importance of knee bend. So if we're just talking about doing crossovers here, we tell the players get nice and low, stay low, better for the power, for speed, for balance, and for agility, right? And what happens is they'll do a few crossovers around the circle, and then they'll be up here. And they'll be up high, right? And then they're not getting any power. So something that we want to mention is to make sure that you maintain that good knee bend throughout your entire stride. So like Scott mentioned, your legs start to get a bit tired, and you naturally just want to do the easiest thing you can do. And the easiest thing to do is kind of just walk around the ice or walk around the circles like a public skater, right? But we're not public skaters. We don't want to do this really easy, lazy skating stride. We want you guys to get nice and low, keep that good knee bend, and get as much power out of each push as you can. And you do that by staying nice and low.